So, hey man, let's talk about this new Method Man album. So, I mean, Method Man, he released his first album of new material under just his name, Method Man. First album since 2006's 421, the day after. I heard a couple of people that were talking about this Meth Lab album, and they were like, oh, well, you know, the problem that I've had with this Method Man new album is that he's got all these new people that I've never heard of that's on this album. It's just basically like an all-star thing. He's teaming up with people. It's whack. I was expecting to hear an album of him just by himself and all that. First off, whoa. Are you really a Method Man fan? Is the first question that I have to ask, because any and everybody that's thinking along those terms, if you go back and you look at every single album that Method Man has put out, and I know I'm a huge Method Man fan. I needs my Method Man shit, alright? I needs that shit. Go back for yourself. You look at every single album that he's put out since Takao in the early 90s. He's always had guest appearances. I mean, you go as far back as Takao. He had Raekwon on there. He had Blue Raspberry, Carlton Fisk, RZA, Inspector Deck, Street Life. You're like, okay. Now, you could also say, hey, that first album, he pretty much did all of those songs by himself, except for a couple of collaborations, right? But then, like, with each album that pops up, he gets more and more comfortable with the collaborating with other people. One of my favorite all-time Method Man albums, Takao 2000 Judgment Day, even though it was released in 1998. But I mean, when you go back to that time period in the late 90s, everybody was tripping over the Y2K crisis, end of the world, all this other shit. So that was a hot time to be putting out like stuff dubbed 2000 or whatever. And Judgment Day, just from beginning to end, that is just one of those albums. It is one of those rare hip-hop/rap albums that you can play in its entirety and you can just jam to every single fucking track. Like, every time I listen to Judgment Day, I can never just cherry pick one track because it's a whole concept album. I'm able to just play that damn thing through in its entirety. But you look at Takao 2000 Judgment Day, Left Eye, Booster, Street Life, Capradonna, Ed Lover, Inspector Deck, Killer Sin, Master Killer, Chris Rock, Redman, D'Angelo, Janet Jackson. Great fucking album, but he had a lot of collaborations on that one. Weakest album, Takao, the prequel. That was mainly because, guess who was the producer for that one? It was Sean Puffy Combs. And later interviews, Method Man would admit it was definitely a bad idea to bring P. Diddy on board, but it's like, who are you to argue was his whole argument, because Puff knows how to sell records. But everybody's in agreement that is a true Method Man fan. Takao, the prequel, weakest album that was ever put out there. 421 the day after saw him kind of go back to his roots from Takao and Takao 2000. Producing on that one, RZA, Havoc, Eric Sermon, Mathematics, just to name a few. Of course, he did the Wu Massacre album in 2010 with Ghostface Killer and Raekwon. Great album right there. Meth Lab, this go round, it actually saw him reach out to Fourth Disciple, who helped him out on Takao 2000. It also saw him get help from the Mathematics again, who were also very helpful to him on Takao 2000, the day after, and Wu Massacre. No presence felt on this new album, the Meth Lab. No RZA, no Eric Sermon. This album, I gotta be brutally honest. This one, if you're looking for a lot of tracks where Method Man is by himself, just doing his thing on the mic, you're not going to get that. You could basically dub this Method Man's All-Stars, okay? Because the people that's helping him out on this one, on the majority of these tracks, he's got Hans on, Street Life, Corey Guns, Cheddar Bang, Uncle Murder, Freaky, Marciano, Cardi, Easy Get Right, Master Killer, Dro, Pesci, Hugh Hef. I mean, just to name some of the folks that's helping him out. There's a couple of new names that's on here. Like, one name that'll really jump out to you is Corey Guns, I think. If you're not really familiar with him, even though he's been doing mixtapes since like 2005. There's also a young kid on here that was on The Wire. His name escapes me right now. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he was on The Wire. This was like the first album where he's basically rapping and everything like that. Just look at the Meth Lab as an all-star album, basically. Method Man and his friends just jamming on every single freaking track. There's probably, I'm looking at the album right now, there's probably only maybe 2 to 3 tracks where Method Man is just doing his thing by himself. 2 minutes of Your Time is definitely one of them. Let's see, the other one would be Water. And no, that's actually it. But despite the fact that Method Man only does 2 songs by himself, it is still a fantastic album. I would definitely recommend that you guys check it out. The beats, the production, and all that, it's a little weak. It comes off a little bit undergroundish. It really does come off like a mixtape, because I know Method Man, he released this on iTunes, but he also had released it on Bootcamp, the bootcamp.com website, where he had a pretty cool pre-order deal that was going on. Like, if you had put $90 out there, you basically were able to get like the vinyl version of the album. You had got a 2-disc jewel case set. You also had got a Kobe Walkman cassette player with the cassette version of the album. I thought that was like just freaking badass. I was like, whoa, what the hell? But it was really cool seeing that. But he was really big on doing some promotional work on that site. But it was released on iTunes. Now, iTunes, they have a double feature of the Meth Lab album. You can basically check out the album itself, which is like 19 tracks total. But then you get technically a bonus disc through iTunes of instrumentals of some of the same songs that you heard off the first disc, basically. So I would definitely recommend that you guys check it out, especially like if you're into the beats and all that. But just bear in mind the production value of it and all that. It's a little funky. It definitely comes off very bootlegish. Definitely comes off like a mixtape with what you're hearing. Now, Method Man is supposed to be dropping the Crystal Meth sometime in 2016. A lot of folks have their fingers crossed that maybe that is going to be the album where we're really going to be able to hear Method Man just all balls out, because with the little bit that we got on this album, it just really kind of feels like a tease, and it definitely kind of comes off as if Method Man is just testing the waters with this one to see what type of street cred he's able to get buzzing off of this album as he bridges his way to the next album. But I would definitely say, you know, if you're looking for something new to add to your rap collection, definitely pick this up. I gotta give it a respected, I would say a respected 4 out of 5, because this album definitely had a nice throwback vibe to Cal and to Cal 2000. I'll definitely give it its props. Standout tracks, I actually enjoy Straight Gutter. I enjoyed that. I also had enjoyed Water. I thought Water was a really good track. Another Winter. Also enjoyed that one a lot. So Statin. That was like one of my most favorite tracks out of the entire album. But check it out. And again, if you're going to check it out and you love instrumental beats and all that, check out the iTunes version, as you basically get technically 2-disc, second disc instrumental. If you're lucky, maybe you can get that instrumental as part of the CD package, maybe, at Best Buy, Amazon, or wherever else great music is sold. Hope that review helps you out. And if there's something you'd like for me to check out, definitely hit me up all throughout social media and let me know, and I'll definitely consider it for you guys.